Opportunity right now to be a part of something that's bigger than Reliv was in the first half of our career, our lives, our company life. I'm telling you, the opportunity is bigger today than it was when we started this company, and it was last year or 2 years ago. Some may think I'm crazy when I make that statement, but I truly, truly believe that. Do you know, you wouldn't know, I suppose, that it was 40 years ago right now, 40 years ago right now this week, that I was with Dr. Ted for the very first time. And let me tell you just a little bit about that. I had no idea how he was going to change my life. I had retired from the insurance business. I was 39 years old and out looking around for something to do, because I didn't like sitting around the pool all day long, and I didn't want to just do nothing. So I was looking for things. Well, my mother died of breast cancer in 1981. And Sandy's father was about to die of heart disease, chronic heart failure. I had no idea that things would develop the way they did. But because of that, I was looking for something that might help the rest of us in our family do better. I became more concerned about nutrition and the effects of health and how we all prosper with our good health and all, or how we don't. And in that search, at a meeting, a nutritional conference, I met Dr. Ted. And he began to talk to me about what he had developed. He was just an unknown scientist. He was born in 1917, so he was not a young man at the time I met him. But for the next 6 years, from 1982 to 1988, he was sending me what you know as Reliv Classic every month. And he would send more and more as I asked him about it. He'd make it in his kitchen. He had developed this product because of a war injury that he had in World War II. And you've heard the story, some of you have, but I like hearing it again myself, so excuse me for repeating all this. But what I'm saying to you is that changed my life, that product. I no longer had the sinus problems. I no longer had the headaches. I no longer was in the chiropractic office like I had been for all those years before. And I saw how my life was changed, but I saw how my mother-in-law's life had changed. She lived to be almost 100. She died, Sandy's mother I'm talking about, just a short while ago, actually about 3 years ago. And I saw what it had done for her in those early years, in the 80s. How that product, she was taking that classic every day. My dad was that way. He lived to be 93 and a half. He took the product, took his classic in the morning and took his now at night. And he did that for 20 years or so, something like that. And wouldn't go to bed without it, wouldn't start the day without it. And I saw that, and I saw how my kids were healthier than their other kids. They were never sick. They were always the ones that were out doing all the good things in high school, growing up. Scott's told you a little bit about that, and Ryan has as well, I'm sure. But I knew that this product was great that Dr. Ted was sending me. And what happened was, you've heard this, but I got sick with a brain tumor in 1988. Which was 6 years after I met Dr. Ted. And it turned out after a lot of tests and studies and things, they determined that they had to go get the brain tumor, which meant drilling a hole in my head about the size of a big white grape, actually about the size of a quarter was really the size. They put the little plug aside when they drilled. I don't like telling this story. But they did. That's what happened. They said that plug, I said, what are you going to do with that plug? And they said, well, when they dig you up 5,000 years from now, that plug is still going to be in there because we got some really good glue. Anyway, they pulled out this tumor. It wasn't cancerous, or I wouldn't be here standing here talking to you today. It wasn't cancer, but it was affecting my life. The thing that happened was that this was a real clue to me about something that I needed to consider strongly. And that was that what happened was they told me I was going to be laid up for months, at least several weeks. And that hospital surgery in Chicago was on a Monday, back in February 1987. And by Friday, I wasn't taken off somewhere into a room and just left for 4 months to heal. They let me out of the hospital. I was doing so well. And I was walking the streets of Chicago looking for a cap to put on my head because it was like 4 degrees above zero in Chicago at that time. And I knew what it was. I knew it then, at that point, that they didn't cure anything. There was nothing to cure, but what they did do was that they allowed me to recover. My body was in such good shape. Some of you have heard that story. I know that, but it really was the basis of Reliv. That's how Reliv got started. That's why we started the company. I contacted Dr. Ted and told him what I wanted to do not long after that. And that was the beginning. That's why we're all sitting here. That's why we're going to do around the world what we're doing. Because of that beginning back in those days. And I talked a little bit last night about it, and I'm kind of glad I did, because it maybe won't keep me so long this morning, or keep you so long this morning, talking about it again. But what I'm telling you is that my results that I had are not that much different than what many of you have had, and your people, and other people that you know that have taken Reliv. I heard a bunch of those stories last night, standing out here in this hallway for a little bit. And I always do. Reliv products work. Reliv products do work. If you don't know that, you've got a very pleasant surprise coming your way. I'm serious. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life are those products. And that's really where this company starts right there. All the good things you know about, all the good things that can happen for you, start with those products that work. And it's just, I can't say that enough. I mean, it's just something that is so key. I think we are on the verge of something that is going to be the best thing you've ever seen in your life from a lifestyle and a business point of view. I really think that. I'm not kidding when I say you people have the opportunity to do more in Reliv today than those people did in Chicago back 20 years, 20, 80 when we started, I guess I'll say in 88. I just, one of the reasons I say that is because people are much more aware of nutrition today. They know they need something, they don't know what. And they have no idea that Reliv even exists. And Dr. Galvez talked about it last night. Most people don't know what he has been working on. And that's maybe good for us in a way, because the world yet doesn't know. But the truth is that we've got a future here ahead of us. And I think our future is brighter than ever. I honestly do believe that. And we need your help.
Bravo!
I think Lunazen is going to be the best thing since classic. I honestly believe that. I think I wear Ryan and Scott out in the office when I start talking about how excited I get about what I see with the products. I know Scott was in the other day, and Scott's a little more quiet anyway. And I could see I was kind of rattling him a little bit and talking too much about it. But I really am a fanatic about this. See, I think everybody needs our product. I mean it. I think everybody does.
Yay! Woo!
There is. Let me tell you something. If you are using your head at all, why would you not take Peter Briscoe and the work that he does on those Wednesday night calls that maybe a lot of people can't get into? We need to open that thing up to the world as far as I'm concerned. I mean, how many of you watch those calls or listen to them? Pretty good number of you, I'm sure, in this crowd. How can you listen to that? How can you watch those things and not go to your next door neighbor and your best friend and your uncle and your aunt and your cousins and everybody you know, the person driving down the street, the one you see in the grocery store? I mean, that sounds crazy for me to say it like that, but that's the way it is. Those people need this product. You're doing them the favor. They're not doing you the favor by listening. I mean, that's just the way it works. And I honestly believe that everybody, that's what I meant by that Walmart thing last night that I said. I don't mean we want to be a Walmart, because we don't. But what I am saying, we need to be as well known as a Walmart. That was what I tried to say. And we will, with your help. All we got to do is just keep on keeping on. You know, I think, let me tell you something that's good for you to know. You're going to hear more about this with Paul Adams later today, I'm sure. I think there is a coming evolution, not revolution, but evolution with Reliv. Here's how we are evolving. We have studied the industry. We've studied the companies that are growing, some of our friendly competitors, some you know about. And I'll tell you what's happening. They are, some of these companies have grown from maybe, let's say, 100 million to 6 billion in just a short period of time, in a few years. And the way they've done it, have they got better products than us? Absolutely not. We got the best products. But I'll tell you what they've done. What they've done is they've recognized that the more people they can get in their organization buying their products, the customer, the people that use our products and love our products and tell their friends about our products, those are the ones that will build our business. Those are the ones that are going to take Reliv to this next level. And I sincerely believe that. Once we get onto that, how that works, that's the evolution that we're getting into right now. And you say, well, Bob, how about the opportunity? Well, let me tell you about the opportunity. Can you imagine if one of those companies, and we will be, that grows from 50 million, 100 million to 5 billion, 10 billion, and beyond? Can you imagine the opportunities with that for you and everybody sitting in this room and everybody else? Where's the commissions going to be paid? It's going to be paid to you and your organizations, downline and upline, all the way through. That's what this is all about, and that's how this is going to happen, through what you see with the growth of Reliv and these products. I mean, I just love what Peter and Dr. Fred have brought to this organization. I honestly got to tell you, I think I sat there and listened last night, and I was nodding more than anybody in the room as they talked, because I truly believe what they're talking about is going to be something special, and you're going to be glad that you're a part of it. And let me just summarize a little more about it, and then I'll try to slow down here a little bit. It's all about people. Products is maybe the first thing with Reliv, but I'll tell you something, it doesn't happen without you. It doesn't happen without people. And it's always been that way. But what I'm saying to you is, and some people won't understand what I'm talking about here. I know some of you won't. But I'm saying you have to care about people. You know, you've always heard, a lot of people have said this, people don't know how much you know until they know how much you care. I mean, that does fit in here. But I'm saying you truly have to care about people. And I think that's the difference. It's the difference corporately. I see it in some of our our places that we go, Eden and I, when we travel. Some of these corporate people really, really, really care about their distributors and their people that work for them in the office and all the employees and all, and some do, but not quite as much. People know how when you care. That is when you get the feeling that someone's trying to help you, you are going to be more open. One of the things that a guy named Mitch talked to me last night about. Mitch, I don't know where you are, but here somewhere, I'm sure. He said, Bob, you said something 20 years ago. I wondered what he was going to say, but what I said. But he's right about this. I had not said it for a while. One of the things that's important is your relationship with people. That's everything, not one of the things. I've always had this little notion that when I greet somebody and I'm talking to somebody, that you've got a little tattoo that's right across the top of your head that says, help me feel important. Now, do I really mean that thinking of you as a tattoo up there? No, I don't mean it that way. But what I'm saying is, that's the way I intend to feel about you when I'm talking to you. That I do care. You are important. You're important to me. You're important to this organization. And people know that. They either know that or they don't know that. And when they don't know that, you're not likely to do a lot of business with them. That's just how it works. Let me tell you something that I've also learned. That most of the people in the world are good people. The biggest percentage of the people in the world are good people. You say, well, Bob, there are some bad people. I say, yeah, there's a few bad people. I know that. Just a few bad people. They move around a lot. That's the thing that you never know. They move around some. But I'm saying to you, most people want to be around good people, and now good people attract good people. And I've been quoted a lot of times on the Zig Ziglar thing, and to me, it's the way I live my life. And when Zig talks about this, that you can have anything you want in your life if you help enough other people get what they want. It's that simple. It doesn't get any more complicated than that. You will not be successful without the people around you becoming successful. That's the way it works. I also want you to know that in our 1994 Lifestyle, any of you remember the Lifestyle magazine? Somebody said, Bobby, why don't we go back to that? Why don't we go back? Well, there it is. There's a page from it right there. You know what? This is what we used to do. And somehow we got too smart and we thought, well, we don't need to do that anymore. We don't worry about that. We'll just jump right to the master affiliate and go on and we'll be done with it. No. We tried to train everybody, and we did. The early people, even in Chicago and other places, came in with the notion, and it says so right on that magazine thing that I had a minute ago, that the first thing you do when you become involved with Reliv as a distributor, the first thing that happens is you go out and get those 10 customers. That's what you do. Because if you don't, and you go right to master affiliate, you got nothing. I mean, all you got is a good discount, yes, but it's that customer base. But once you got those 10 customers, you're going to end up with maybe 5 people in that group that become distributors. And you know what you do then? You go out and do it all over again. Go out and get another 10 customers. And and another 5 distributors from that group. That's the way you build. And that's the way your check is going to be paid to you over the years. That's what's going to cause that to happen. Let me tell you one other thing. You probably don't, some of you haven't heard this, and maybe you have. Let's just assume for a minute there are 100 of you sitting in this room, or we could say 1,000 people, however, we're somewhere in between that. But did you know that there was a reality when we started this company, and it exists even today, and it's been here forever, The reality is that if there's 1,000 people sitting in this room, 800 of those people would be very, very, very happy to make $500 a month. I'm talking about 800 out of 1,000. I'm talking about 8 out of 10. You say, Bob, you're crazy. No, I don't think so. Not in today's world, at least, where you got people that are trying to find a way to buy more groceries, pay a way to pay for their car payment, or the extra expense they've got of having their kids in school, or whatever it may be. Of the 1,000 people, 150 of them are interested in making $500 a week. These are the stats. This is not just me talking. These are the stats. And in other words, I'm talking about 5 people left. 80 of them want to make $500 a month. 15 of them want to make $500 a week. 5 of them want to make $500 a day and more. And that's the way it is. And what I'm saying to you is, the lucrative side of this thing is not to go out and try to find people that want to make $1 million in the next whatever, even though that's going to happen. What I'm saying to you is that those 800 people of the 1,000 are where we need to be getting our customers, our people, and that's where we need to be plowing the ground right there. And that is so important to know that. That was true when we started. That was true when Amway started in '59 or whatever it was. And it's true now. Let me tell you another little thing that you gotta think about. When you're talking about being a leader in this business, there's a few things you gotta have. You gotta have the heart of an angel. You really do have to have a heart of an angel. That's one thing you gotta have. Number 2, you've got to have the courage of a lion. You can't be meek. You can't be sitting on the side and hoping, they don't see me, whatever. I can't go knock on their door because they make more money than I do, and they're smarter than I am, so I can't be seeing them. I can't be talking to those people. Those are the easiest ones. Let me ask you a question. I want you to think about this for a minute. Have you ever met anybody in your life that made more money than you do, that doesn't like you? I want you to think about that for a minute. Somebody asked me that question, and I said, no, I can't think of anybody that I've met people that don't like me, maybe. But I've never met anybody that made more money than I do that doesn't like me. What I'm saying is go talk to those successful people. Don't be afraid to go talk to the guy that lives in the big house or drives the big car. That's a key thing right there. The third thing you gotta have, besides the angel heart, courage of a lion, you gotta have the skin of a rhinoceros. And if you got those 3 things, you're gonna go a long way in this business. What do I mean by that? Well, you know what I mean by that. The biggest thing you're going to deal with, all of us, everybody deals with, is your relationships with the people around you. And I'm telling you that every day in my life, somewhere along the way, somebody insults me. Every day. And I can either get angry with that, I can get upset about it, get all depressed, or I can just turn the other cheek and go on and act like it never happened. And what I'm saying is you can't let those little things bother you. So many times people get down about the stuff that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, and yet you're upset about it. Maybe somebody forgot to call your name and recognize you at a time they should have recognized you, whatever it might be. But get over it. Have that skin of a rhinoceros. Because if you're thin-skinned, time is short term, frankly. You have got to have a tough skin. I'll tell you another thing too, just now while I'm talking here, but one more thing that I think about. What's important as a leader? Let me tell you this. People may not remember you years from now. They may not remember you, what you said. They may not remember what you did. But I tell you what they're going to remember about you and me. They're going to remember how you made them feel. Amen. I want you to think about that a minute. That's what's key right there. How you make them feel. That is a big thing. You know, I could go on and on and on. And I'm not going to. I have still got a green light. I'm not too bad. If that red light goes on down there, I know the floor is going to fall out. About 15 seconds or so I got to get off of here. But so it says here I got a little bit of time left. I don't know why that means, but I'm going to use it because I got one other thing I want to talk to you about. And I've seen this since my days in the insurance business. And when I tell you that, I tell you because the insurance business was sort of a warm-up ground for me to get into network marketing. I didn't know it. I didn't know how to spell network marketing or even MLM. I never knew anything about that either. But I was doing it. I didn't know it. I was doing network marketing in the insurance because I was sponsoring all these agents. And it turned out that I became the #1 agent in a company. It's life insurance I'm talking about. And it's not easy. 23 years old. And I did it not because I was so smart and so good, but I had lots of other people doing what I was doing. And we were working together. And that was the thing we do in network marketing that is so important. You know, there's about 6 things. I got 2 minutes left. I got to talk fast. 6 things that are key. You, in order to survive and get what you want out of Reliv, if it's business you're interested in and the opportunity, you've got to have a desire for a better life. And if you've had everything pretty well handed to you or easy for you or come your way softly and all that sort of thing, then, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I am saying that I think it's a little bit of a strike against you because you've got to have that desire. See, my thing was I was born in a little town of 83 people. 83 people in this little country town. It never changed. Years later, still 83 people. I think what it was that every time somebody got pregnant, somebody else left town. I'm not sure, but I think that's what happened. But in any case, what I learned, I was so poor, and I've said this to God, so poor the poor people called us poor. My mother and dad were divorced when I was 6 years old. I went with my little brother to live with my mother, and we had nothing. We never had a car until I was 16 years old and could buy one myself. I walked. Everybody you hear about the old folks talking about walking. We didn't have a car. My mother never knew how to drive a car, ever, in her life. We walked everywhere we went, Sunday school or church or whatever it was, buy groceries, school, all those things. And I'm saying to you, I couldn't even play sports because I had to go to work when I was 13 years old. And I've been working since then. And I guess I'm saying to you that desire that gets instilled in you when you have nothing. I had no options. I'm not sure not having an option is a bad thing. Sometimes not having an option is a good thing. I didn't have any options. I had to do something. I had to go out and make something happen. Set the goals. That's a key thing. You've got to know what you want. Write it down and be persistent on it. One of the things you've got to have is a pathway to get what you want. You've got that pathway with Reliv. You've got it right here in front of you. The 4th thing is you can never, never, ever quit. You can't quit. The only 2 things going to happen to you in this business. You're either going to have success or you're going to quit. Is there anything else? You're either going to be successful or you're going to quit. The other thing is self-confidence. Self-confidence is a big thing, because I don't mean to be cocky and arrogant and all that. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying to you is, you have to believe in yourself to some degree. You've got to be confident in your own skin. Now, you know what I think? I think Reliv helps with that. I think as you succeed, you gain a lot of that. Now, maybe you didn't need it. Maybe you didn't need it. Maybe you had it before. That's okay. That's good. But I'm saying it's one of the things I'm most proud of is that you're not the same person you were 5 or 10 years ago. I know you're not. You're not the same person because you're more confident, you believe in yourself, you're happier with yourself. And the final thing is this. Final thing is this. The most important, if you forget everything else I've said, I mean everything else that I've said and everybody else has said, you've got to be excited. You've got to be excited. Right. Without excitement, you're not going very far. You know why you had success when you first started Reliv? Because you were so excited you had to go tell somebody about this product or this opportunity. That's the reason you were excited, wasn't it? And wouldn't it be neat? Wouldn't it be great if you could have that again, if you could instill that again in yourself? To have that excitement? That's what you got to look for. That's what you've got to have. And some do. Some maybe have lost it along the way. But if you don't have anything else, be so excited. When somebody asks you how you're doing, you say, well, you know, every day and every way I'm getting better and better. And I just know it. And I feel that way. My problem is I may run out of years. I used to be a young guy. You know, when I said that we started 40, I met Dr. Ted 40 years ago. Well, I happened to be 40 years at that time of age. Now I'm 80. And I just expect to live another 20 years. He thinks I'm 35 or 40. Right, baby? That was supposed to say it. But I believe it. My health is, I didn't say this, but I'm almost 1 minute. I'm watching my time, I'm trying to be good. Let me tell you this about those products again. And another reason I'm excited about you, and I'm excited for me, and I'm excited for everybody that's a part of Reliv. I've told some of you this before. My numbers, my doctor's numbers, when I go in there pretty frequently, not because I'm sick, but just because I want him to check me out and see how I'm doing. And he sends a bill, he likes that too. But every time he calls me his freak of nature. He said, you know, I've got 3,000 patients, it's a pretty good sized clinic that he runs. I've got 3,000. And I don't have anybody with numbers like you've got. I don't have anybody. You're green, 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 green all the way across. No reds, no yellows, no pinks, no nothing. But green. You don't take any prescription drugs. Nothing. You still got all your teeth. And no parts, no artificial this or artificial that. Maybe 2/3 of your hair. maybe 61 or 2%, something instead of 2/3. And what I'm saying to you is, Reliv has helped me with that. I feel younger today than I did when I started this company, honestly. And I want that for everybody. I want it for you. I'm excited. I want to stay excited. And I want to stay together with you. We're going to build this company into something that is so special that everybody who walks, talks, eats, and breathes knows about Reliv. That's the goal. You're going to benefit. I'm going to benefit. We're all going to benefit. And especially those people that become involved. So, thanks everybody. Have a good day.